Hello, we're back. Oh, why am I got to echo? It's working. It's working. Hey. Look, it's 4 o'clock. I'm working on boss's hours. Did I even brush my hair today? No. But here we are. I missed you people. I'm sorry. It's been a couple weeks. I had errands this morning to run around in. But I'm here. I tried a new Costco sandwich this morning. We will get to that in just a little bit. We're going to have a guest on today. Michael Gavin Ali is going to call in and join us. So I'm watching for when he connects. We'll have a little discussion there. And then I've just got some stuff that I've saved over the past couple of weeks that I want to chat about. We're here in the home office of the underground steam tunnels in Manhattan. Now, I know you're looking behind me and you're saying, this doesn't really look like a steam tunnel. This is the old City Hall tunnel that's under Manhattan that you used to be able to take a tour. This was a subway tunnel that ran under the island of Manhattan, and you got to go way down to get to this. To this day, it still has power. It still looks exactly like this. I heard it's phenomenal, but they closed off the tour. They bricked up the way to get to it. This is a whole nother thing we'll get into in another show, but I wound up a couple of years ago getting really into finding about what was called the mole people, the people that live underneath of Manhattan in the steam tunnels and under the subway stuff and all of that. It's honestly fascinating. And I got to put together a montage thing about that. Hang on a second. I know what everybody wants. Wait a minute. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. We've got to get an update because we've got... Piggums! Look at him. He's just chowing. Now, this is supposed to be a little bat thing for Halloween. All right, I admit it. We went to Petco about an hour ago, and I was looking at piggy pet costumes. I shit you not. Piggum, what are you doing in there? What are you doing? You know what? I got leafies. We got a whole, look at the smorgasbord over here. Oh, yeah. See, it's prepared. So, and this is a little toy. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. He wants to eke out. Look, I got you. Oh, you know what you want. Let's get you back in there. Oh, see. He's just like me. He's just happy when he's chowing. Look at him. Oh, God, he's so cute. How can you not love him? He's my Ed McMahon. Oh, my God. So, yeah, I wanted to bounce across a couple of topics. And one I want to open up with. I came across this. Uh-oh. Are you going to start already? No, he wants, look at this. He wants the whole plate. That's a pig. He's like, oh, what is this shit? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait, hang on. Hang on. Oh, jeez. All right, we're going to put the whole plate in here because I know you want it. Let's just do that. Oh, let's just hit the microphone. Now you got to get, look at, now he's standing in the plate. He's incorrigible. Look at, that's carrot. He's like, holy crap, look at all this food. Oh, we just pick them. So here you go. You can eat all your yummies. Look, you're standing in your plate, man. Anyway. Piggums will be there doing his little thing. All right, let me go here. Let's change the background so we can see this. All right. Now, I came across this. Ooh, what just got louder? I forgot to turn something on. Hang on. Oh my God, I forgot to do this beforehand. So bad. Sound. Show audio. There it goes. Show audio. Oh, okay. Forgot to do that before. Sorry. TikToker panic over viral phone pinky deformities. Now, I'm not a TikToker, but obviously everybody uses one of these suckers. All right. We've all got a cell phone. If you are using your cell phone to the point where your pinky looks like that, you got a problem. I mean, I don't even know what the. So I guess that's the cradle pinky that goes under the phone like here. I don't hold my phone like that. I hold it like this. I'm ergonomic. What in the hell? Gen Zers, oh, that's all you got to say, are pointing the finger at their cell phones as the cause of a gripping new malady. Victims say contorts their pinkies. Pig, you getting this? Nicknamed phone pinky. The syndrome refers to a bend, bump, or dent sufferers say is caused by the weight of a phone when it is resting on the fifth digit for an extended period of time. Really, how long do you have to be holding your phone for it to do some kind of jacked up crap like that? Youch. Holy moly. Oh, does she have a... Oh, she's just showing... Okay, so yeah, she's cradling the phone underneath. So she's using the pinky to hold the phone like this. And, oh, I'm getting text. Oh, I think Michael is joining us. Oh, no, it's Bob. Rust. It's a Rust thing. So unprofessional. Gotta turn my phone down. Hang on. I see Michael has connected. Let me add him to Rendezvous so I can get him in there. Oh, okay. We'll be joining Michael in a moment. So, yeah. Why? Now, I know phones are large. And, you know, holding one if you got a smaller hand can be kind of problematic. In fact, the Samsung Galaxies, this phone is so large, it has a feature where it turns the screen into just the bottom corner where you can then just use your thumb to get around the screen. Because obviously my phone it's so large, it doesn't, I'm compensating. So your finger can get the entire screen. But, oh, good God, man. What do you do for that? I don't. Now, I always had this thing when I was like, I can do this with my thumb. I'll show you this. All right, so here's my thumb, right? Watch this. Oh. Now, I always thought that was normal. And one day I was with my sister somewhere, and we were talking about hitchhiking. And I just hitchhike like this, right? And she goes, "The fuck is wrong with your thumb?" I was like, "What? It's just my thumb. What's wrong with it?" She's like, "Why is it bend like that?" I don't know. It always does it. Now, I'm not one of those people that can take their fingers and like bend them backwards to the back of their freaking hand. No. But I don't know. Is this like the new carpal tunnel? We're going to have ergonomic phones now that they can properly hold it in your hand and not wind up fucking deformed like this. Look at this. What the fuck is up with that? That is some alien looking shit. My dented iPhone pinky. Wow, man. Wow. This is a thing, apparently. Now, so people are going around showing their iPhone pinky. Somewhere, this is going to become a fetish. I guarantee you, there's going to be people cranking it over iPhone pinky, just like they crank it over feet. iPhone pinky is next. Some social medias use the trend to highlight being double jointed or having an abnormality following a bone fracture. And that happens. Some handy tips to address contortion concerns include reevaluating how you hold your phone. How about reevaluating how much fucking time you use your phone? Use a laptop if you're that addicted. Using a phone stand or sticking a pop socket or a similar attachment to the back of the device to make gripping it easier. Yeah, I've seen those things. They stick on the back of your phone and you hold it like a cigarette and you're just holding your phone. Now, I admit, how many times have you been laying in bed and you're looking at your phone and you're checking it out and you know it's going to happen. You're going to drop the phone right into your face. It happens and you know it's coming, but you still do it. And you're like, and then bam, you get smacked in the face with your phone. We all do this dumb shit. That's something that you know is going to happen. You're tired, your arm is hurting you from holding the thing up like this, and boom, right in the face. The obvious solution is limiting screen time. Members of Gen Z spend over 6 hours on their phone a day. Now, I'm reaching out to all the Gen Zers right now to let you know, if you're going to be doing something for 6 hours a day, you should probably get into Rust. And we will talk about Rust. Anthony, Bob, Mel, well, not Mel, but Anthony, Bob, and I have been playing Rust, and it's a 3 to 4 a.m. nightly occurrence right now. Little much. But that's what we're doing till the new COD comes out. All right, so we've hit the phone pinky. Let's see now. Our guest is connected. Let's see if I can roll him in here. Hang on, this will just take me uno momento. Because for some reason, Telecast makes me jump through hoops to do this. So we will grab the guest, replace layer. There he is. And then we're going to put him in here. I wish there was an automated way to do this. There isn't, but we're almost there. All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Hold on to your hats, ladies. Michael Gavin Ali is joining us. How are you doing, Michael?
I am doing very well. That is a real interesting thing that there's iPhone Pinky. I never heard of it in my entire life, and I've been living on this planet for 42 years, and it doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, I knew. I guess with everything else that it would eventually come. Like I said, the size of these phones are so large. If you've got small hands and you use it that much, like anything else, that kicked off back in the, late 80s when they started coming out with like ergonomic keyboards because people were getting carpal tunnel from using standard keyboards because this is not a natural position for your hand to type in. So they started making it where you wouldn't get carpal tunnel.
When you had Garrett on, you brought something up, and that was video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a huge video game fan. Back when I was a little kid, at the age of think of 5, and my dad bought me the original Nintendo.
The NES Entertainment System. Yes, that was a staple in many houses in America through, I guess that came out, I think 90 or 91, I'm going to say.
No. The original one actually came out in 87.
87, okay. I mean, you're talking back in the days when it was, I think it was originally called a Famicom, was the original Japanese version of the NES.
Yeah, something like that.
But, yeah, you're right. I know I had it. I guess that's about right. 88, 89. Yeah, it has to be because we were in elementary school when we were playing it. So yeah, you're absolutely right on your dates.
I just started elementary in 87. So my dad bought it, and I was just so impressed by it. And there was another. You remember Duck Gun?
Duck Hunt. Oh, yes.
Oh, my favorite.
The original light gun that everybody would point to their big CRT TVs back then because nobody had LCDs. And, and you would just sit there shooting a little doggy would come up. Diddly-diddly-ding. I could probably, I'll bring up Duck Hunt here. Where's my other keyboard? Let's see. The old NES Duck Hunt. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let's see. Here you go. Let's bring this up here. This was, wrong mouse. Let's see. I think I have it where I can get you on. Yes, I do. Let's go to this right here. Turn this off. Wait a minute. Turn that off. Turn this off. Then bring this up. There we go. Oh,
yes,
yeah. Lower a little bit. There it goes. Round one. Little doggy coming out. You got to get that little crappy NES light gun. There comes the duck. Shoot the ducks.
Yeah. I remember that very well. I used to play that all the time when I
Oh,
was
that makes
at my
sense.
dad's. And
Yeah, this was one of the games that came with the NES system.
Yeah.
Super Mario 1 and Duck Hunt. They might have actually... Was it on one cartridge? Why do I feel like it was a split
No.
cartridge? But
it was two separate games, I remember.
yeah, so I mean, this is all you did all day. This is it.
Yeah.
In fact, if I remember right, Duck Hunt was actually in oh god, what's the movie with in LA with Ice Cube? Oh god, why am I forgetting the name of this movie?
Friday?
No, not Friday. Way before that, the first one. Oh my god, they're all sitting on the couch on the couch with the plastic over it, and he's playing Duck Hunt.
Oh, Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. Thank you very much. Yeah. So this was, this was a shit back in the day. It really was.
And I actually remember, I remember Super Mario Brothers 2 and the theme music. Me and my friend were singing it, and it just sounded so weird. It was like Uchitara, and it was like the most funniest thing. And I didn't even know what I was saying when I was like 7, watching, playing Super Mario Brothers 2, and it's like the music was kind of funny, and I was like, it was just like, what are they saying, like in the background,
I'll tell you a thing about Super Mario 2 that I remember playing that as a kid. There was in between levels, there was a slot machine that would run. And I remember that I found a way to get unlimited lives because if you ever, to preface this, if you ever saw, there was a special about the guy who went on Press Your Luck, the game show, and he was able to look at the board and memorize on the board the timing so that when the whammies wouldn't come up and when everything plus a spin he would hit it over. The guy wound up, this was in the mid 80s. He had like $180,000 he was up on that game. It was freaking ridiculous. So Super Mario 2 had the same thing. It had this slot machine that it would just spin and you'd have to hit 3 cherries in a row and you would get like an extra couple of lives. Well, I would watch it and watch it and watch it. And I got the timing down that every single time, cherry. So I would wind up with 99 lives, and then I would just easily beat the game. So I just remember that.
Yeah, and oh my god, what else? I remember Legend of Zelda. Did you ever play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one?
No, I was never a Turtles fan. I never really got into the Turtles.
That was a lot of fun. I really liked that. I remember.
There you go. Super Mario 2. Throwing the little onions at things.
Onions. Oh, the cherries.
Yep, there you go. Now you go through the door. You get the blank. You get the one up here is you get big because you got the mushroom. Oh, yeah. Great game. This was cutting edge back in the late 80s. And then you had the Sega Genesis that came out to rival the NES. They were kind of brother and sister.
Remember the Game Boy?
Oh, the original Game Boy with the black and green, not black, like a gray and green screen. Oh yeah. The Game Boy jumped the shark as soon as they came out with the camera and the printer. That was horrible. Oh my god, it was horrible. The printer was like a thermal printer, like a receipt printer. But in the camera, I mean, we're talking about something that was a monochrome device, so it's one color. Yeah. And it was absolute shit. But you know what? I guarantee you, the Christmas season, if that came out, they sold a fuck ton of it.
I remember, oh my god, I remember so many games that I had for Game Boy that I can't even mention.
Yeah, I was never a Game Boy. I didn't have a Game Boy. The last handheld game that I had, and I don't even think it was mine, I think a friend gave it to me, was the old Coleco football. I mean, the bloop bloop. I mean, this thing, oh my god, this is... let's see. Yeah, let's see. That's the 2-1. Do they have a solo one? It was like, it was like this one.
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah. 1978. Coleco electronic quarterback. This thing was, oh my god, so many people had this thing. We were on a school trip up to Boston, I believe, in elementary school. This has to be sixth grade. And my friend John at the time brought this on the bus. And I didn't know what the fuck was going on in this game. But I spent the entire 4-hour trip playing this thing. It was just blooping, bleeping, blipping. And I had no idea what was going on. I don't know what the buttons were. Kick, punt. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But this was, again, the pinnacle of technology. This was 1978. So you're talking early 80s, late 70s. This was your Game Boy.
I was born 82, so I remember...
a little bit before your time.
I remember when Nintendo came out, I was not a Sega Genesis fan. I was only strictly Nintendo. And when Super Nintendo came, remember that bazooka that they had, that power bazooka that they had?
For the Super NES?
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't remember it, but you know what does? YouTube. Let's see. Oh my. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yes. I do remember this thing. Look at this. What the hell is this thing?
I love this thing.
Hey guys.
What the I remember that. I didn't have a Super NES, but I do remember seeing this thing in catalogs. Good Lord.
Oh my God. It was my favorite fucking thing.
Released in
1992. Look at this fucking thing. Now, I'm kind of jealous. I would have loved to have that thing back in the day. Oh, it's got a little freaking scope. And, so it's basically, it's the Duck Hunt gun, but for a Super Nintendo. That's basically what it was.
Yeah. I had that.
Wow. Ooh, it comes with 6 games for only $59.99. You can pick this up at Sears or KB Toys. Oh, those old CRT TVs back in the day. Now you're playing with Superpower. Wow, that's
I remember
Guncon 3 with Time Crisis.
Guncon.
I remember the Super Scope. It was like probably one of the most coolest things that ever came out. It just felt like you had a real bazooka. You know, like in the army when you have
that's just what the kids need today. Just a realistic bazooka. I remember this thing, which was the basis of a movie, the NES Power Glove.
Yes, I heard of that.
This fucking thing. I thankfully I never had it. I wasn't one of those that had this. Oh yeah, pop that. Now, I want to preface this. There's no way that Nintendo game just worked that he popped in. He had to blow in that shit before you did it. That was the way of the NES back in the day. Blow in the cartridge, put it in, then it'll work, hopefully. Or you get the black and green blinking screen. Look at this. You had buttons on your wrist, and you're driving the car by doing this. Oh my God, this thing. What was that movie? What was it called? The Wizard? The movie with Fred Savage, I think, was in it, where they went to the video game competition.
Yeah.
Oh
but
my God.
Also, doesn't it remind you of Predator with the guy with the Predator?
Oh yeah. When he opens up, when he's gonna detonate himself, when he opens up the thing on his wrist,
that reminds me so much of that.
Oh yeah, that's a good pull. You're right. That does. Oh, Piggum, where are you going? That's an excellent pull. It's just like that. I mean, I couldn't imagine. Now I have. See, I do have this device that I use when I game. I don't know if the cord is long enough yet. All right, so this is I call it a Nostromo. It was originally called a Nostromo. This is now called a Razer Orb Weaver. This is a keyboard or keypad for your left hand. So my hand sits on it like this, and I can do all of my key things, and it's got a button here for jumping and stuff like that. So there's always been something to try to take video games to the next level. Give yourself the advantage. And that gives me a definite advantage in many games and stuff. But the glove was utter shit. For the people that I know that had it, said it was fucking horrible. It was not nearly as good as you would see it in the commercial.
No, it just brings back that memory of Predator when he's going to self-destruct. That just reminds me of the glove. You know? It just was like a self-destruction glove about to happen. But also I was like throwing back memories. I used to love going to the arcade games
Mm-hmm.
back in the mall, back in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s. And I loved it. I loved the experience. I remember playing Ninja Turtles when it was out on in the arcade game. Do you remember the X-Men game, that 6-player game?
You were born a little bit obviously later than I was. So when I was going to arcades back in, I guess it would be the early 80s, there was I was living in Queens at the time, and there was a stationery store that was around the block from my house that always had 2 or 3 video games in the back of it. The first game that I got addicted on was the Star Wars game, which, I mean, Star Wars came out in 77, so this video game probably came out in like 80, 81. And it was just the Death Star run. And you would play it over, it was the same level, over and over and over. Let's see, Star Wars Arcade. I can find this. Yeah, here it is. All right, so let's go back to this. Hang on. Let me bring this back up. It's here. Wow. Oh, I love those transitions. So this is the exact Star Wars arcade game that I would dump quarters in like you would not believe. And it was basically, it was all polygon graphics, which, again, at the time was unbelievable. So, 1 coin, 1 play. Oh my God, I'm bringing back so many kid memories right now. So, let's see, we have a little, hang on, Piggums is walking out of his thing here. Come on, Pig, get back in the house. There we go. Let's get to the actual action of the game. Here we go. There you go. So now this had a kind of a weird controller in your hand. And this was it. This was, graphically, this was as good as it got in the day when I was growing up. I was like, oh! I was so addicted to this. You're fighting an X-Wing, and you got to get to the Death Star. Oh, there's the Death Star. You're getting closer to it. There's all these little tiny wire graphic TIE fighters are flying at you, and they're shooting these fire. Oh, here he comes. You're going in. And it had digitized voices, too, because you would hear Han Solo. Good job, kid. Let's blow this thing and go home. And, I mean, this is it. Look at these graphics compared to what we're looking at today. That's why I always say, and Anthony and I talk about this a lot, the fact that video games have come so far in such a short time in our lifetime. I don't know if there's been anything that's been more advanced and grown as much as video games. This was the pinnacle of technology, I guess from 40 years ago. Today, you laugh. Look at this explosion. Oh my God. It's red, blue, white. That's an explosion. That's it. And you would do the whole damn thing again. But this game, and then I guess it was Pig. Where you going?
You remember Joust and the Frog game?
Frogger.
Frogger
was an all-time classic. Frogger was a game that actually went across multiple. Every game system had Frogger. Now, here's the original one back from 1981 as a frog. Across. So the point of this game was that you had to cross a street with all these, and a river with all these logs and cars and crap flying through it. Let's see. Let's get up to here we go. So I remember getting this game. In fact, this might be the exact one. We had an Atari 2600, which was our first video game console, which I believe came out in 81. And Frogger was one of the games that, I don't know if we bought it or it came with it. I think we bought it. Back in the day when you actually had to go to a store to buy a video game, which today is like comical. But this was, we would be sitting downstairs on the TV and just, I wish I had the original, I still have one, but it's downstairs hooked up to my Commodore, the original Atari joystick. You would sit there all day and this would be mesmerizing. And this, again, look at the graphics you're looking at here. We're talking about, this is not exactly Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Oh, God, it's hilarious. I remember playing the shit out of this game. There was a game, too. Let's see. Sorry. Game called Breakout. I've mentioned this one before. Yes, this was Breakout. 1976 that it was made. Let's see. Here it is on the Atari 2600. Somebody actually, look at this kid, playing it on a CRT TV. So this game, the Atari came with 2 paddles. So you would hold the paddle. It had a button on each side, and it had a spinnable paddle on the top of it to go right and left. So I remember that my mother and my grandmother started playing this game back when we got the Atari in my grandmother's basement, and they pissed themselves. They pissed themselves playing this game, laughing so hard because they had no fucking clue what the hell was going on. All you had to do was get your little thing under the ball, and the ball would go up, and it would hit the color bricks. That's it. Now, the more bricks that you would hit, the faster the ball would go. And it would get, you got up to that red level, that thing went pretty damn fast. So, but this is the simplicity of this. Over and over, you'd be doing the same thing. And yeah, I didn't learn video game rage until later on in life. But I'm sure, had I been playing this game today, I would have many, many, many broken fucking controllers. I guarantee you that.
So getting back to like the early 90s. So when I remember Street Fighter actually came out in 92, but Mortal Kombat changed everything in the arcades. It was like I cannot even drive it to you.
I remember Street Fighter. The arcades in the early 90s were really good. They had some interesting stuff. One of the ones that was my favorite back in the arcade game all time, and I've mentioned this before, Neo Geo, which was a stand-up arcade game that they sold for home use. Basically, it was a console, and they built a wood cabinet around it. They sold it when I worked in an electronics boutique in the winter of 92. We had a couple, I think we had 3 in the store. The console itself was $799. The games were $199 each. And
wow.
Oh, yeah. Nobody bought it. Nobody even touched it. You would kind of go up to it and gawk. Let's see if I have a picture of it. Yeah, here it is. All right, so this was the Neo Geo arcade. Now, this was the first 32-bit game system. Was the Neo Geo.
I remember that.
Yeah. It had Tekken. It had some awesome fighting games. And the cool thing about this particular game setup is it was 4 games in one console. It always had Baseball Stars 2 was on it. You would select which game you want to play in it beforehand, because again, it was a console stuck in an arcade cabinet. It was fucking phenomenal. And there were actually some great computer emulators, Neo Geo emulators, that I have all the games for that were really fun to play. But this was my pinnacle of the time of the arcade. This had to be 91 to 93, I'd say, when I was in high school. This, and there was the sit-down car driving game.
Yes, I remember that.
Was it called Stunt? Oh, what was it? It was, what was it called? Stunt? I think it was just called Drive. Sit down, arcade.
I remember the one.
What was it? If I have it here. It was like a realistic driving simulator. It had this big key that you would turn to start the car, and you would just drive.
I remember. I know what you mean, but I know what
Stunt Driver. Let me see. I think it was called Stunt Driver. I think.
You remember the one with the Porsche?
Let's see. You had, what was the one with the was it Burnout? Had the Ferrari?
Yeah, I remember the Ferrari one. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, Hard Driving. That's the one.
Yeah.
Hard Driving was the name. Is this the actual? Let me see if this is the actual. It was a polygonal freaking mess, but
yeah.
Let's see. It was yeah. All right, here it is. So this was the arcade game Hard. I would love this because I couldn't drive yet, and I was a couple years away from driving. And I was like, ooh, car simulator. I want to drive this thing. And there was no point to this game. You would just drive around a track. It would eat up your quarter, and you put another quarter to keep driving. It was a money cow back in the day. And it was also, here he goes. So you're just driving. This is it. You're driving. Got some cars in front of you. Yeah, you would go over ramps and stuff like that. And this guy's going in reverse. The fuck is he doing? Look at the cars. The cars were so little polygons. You see, you had this wheel, you had the pedals, and it actually had a little force feedback that the thing would shake, but you were sitting in a sit-down arcade, which was, unheard of back in the day. You had to have space for this thing. It was fucking huge.
Do you remember that game in Terminator 2? Oh my god.
Let me see.
Bud was in it. The guy from
You're talking about a game you played in the movie?
Yeah.
I do. Oh yeah, here. Okay, playing arcade game. Here you go. There's Arnold. Look at Arnold. Let's forward to see.
Afterburn.
Here we go. There he is. Oh, that's Missile Command. Fucking Missile Command. Oh man, a friend of mine down the street had a sit-down Missile Command in his basement. It was, I guess back in the day they called it like a half arcade game. It was a flat table with glass on top, and the monitor built upright inside the glass, so you would sit and look down. But Missile Command had the ball you would roll with your hand, and that's how you controlled this little cursor. See that blue little cursor that he's moving around on the screen here?
Oh, yes, I remember that.
You would control that with the ball. And there was one time we were in his basement, and I don't know why the fuck we did this. We were stupid kids. We wanted to see just how fast that fucking ball could spin. So we're spinning it and spinning it and spinning it. The fucking thing popped out and rolled. I didn't think we broke it. It rolled out in a way, and I don't think he ever got it back into that thing. But yeah, Missile Command, that was one of the most popular arcade games of all time.
You ever heard of Afterburn? Remember that jet pilot game called Afterburn?
Yeah, was that? I believe that's the one where it was from behind the plane. Let's see.
Yes.
Afterburn arcade. Boy, we're going back in the day on these. Yeah, here it is. This is Afterburner. This is Afterburner 2, but it was kind of the same concept.
Yeah, I remember that.
Very popular. Great game. This was probably, let's see, when did it say? Does it say when this one came out? 1987 for the Sega. So the arcade was probably a year before, because they always come out on arcade first before they would go to consoles. But yeah, very, very popular. You would see this in all the arcades because it was such a fast-moving game and full of action. This one would keep you. All these things, God, the amount of quarters that people would shove into these games. And by the way, I just remembered, Hard Driving, by the way, which you just saw before, that game was not a quarter. That game was a fucking $1. You had to put 4 quarters in that fucking game to just drive around for like 6 minutes, and you have to put another $1 in.
Yeah, when all the arcade games died out, I think in the late 90s, like 97 was the last arcade game. It was Mortal Kombat 4, but it really wasn't with real life people with green screens. It was just, video game.
Yeah, it was drawn animation before they started putting the characters into the suits with the white dots all over it so they can get actual real motion. And
I was so bummed out that there are no arcade games anymore. It's like I just love going to see if anybody's going to be in one room playing video games. I would just be so surprised.
Every now and again, I'll come across an arcade. There was an arcade on the cruise ship that we went on last May, the Oasis of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. Give them a plug. Great ship. There was an arcade, and I think we spilled our soda in the thing awfully all over the floor. But it was there was not many games in there that you wanted to play. We walked in and we were like, this is not, and we'll walk out.
Yeah.
The last time I came across an arcade, there was somewhere, it might have been in a mall someplace that we were walking through.
The last time they had one was at Broadway Mall in Hicksville. That was
all the malls had them because you had to bring the kids someplace. That was for the lazy bastard parents that would you want to go shopping and they just want to dump the kid off in an arcade, give them $10 and then spend the next 2 hours in there. They wouldn't have to worry about it. Today, honestly, because arcades was such a kid's place and such a special kind of thing that's gone, I would be afraid in today's society what a arcade problematic it would be.
Yeah.
First of all, between all the fucking pedos walking around would be problem number one. And then number two, how many times on the fucking news would we have to hear, and a shooting took place today in an arcade as somebody was waiting on a machine and they took his place. He dropped a quarter in and he popped out a gun and pop. It would happen.
Yeah. I was talking. I have this. I work at Amazon, but I was talking to a guy. We were talking about Transformers. They have a studio series, and we were talking about Megatron coming out as a gun.
Megatron. Oh! And I had it. I still have it, I should say. It's in my parents' toy closet. They had gotten me that for Christmas. Now, I was not a Transformers fan. I was a GoBots fan, which was the just awful version of.
I kind of watched GoBots, but I was like hardcore, Transformers fan. But there is a rage debate about Megatron being a gun or a tank coming in the toy line. And it's just so stupid now that why you can't bring a pistol that is a character, and why do you have to make him as a tank?
Well, okay, I'll tell you the reason why the debate was with Megatron. When the Megatron gun / figurine came out, the problem is that it looked so much like a realistic gun. It looked like a Luger, I believe, if you put it together. That kids would be playing with this thing, and if you're law enforcement and you see this kid has what looks like a gun, you're going to shoot his ass. It was gray and black. It had no orange piece on the end, which was the that. So this thing looked very realistic. Yeah, that's a problem. It's a problem. It wasn't a problem back then because there wasn't questions about all these, how they get the gun and all this kind of thing. And now it could not come. I didn't know it became a tank. They changed it to be a tank?
Yeah, they changed it, and it was so awful. I thought it was a disgrace. I felt like I was looking back. Transformers came back, the series, like the G1 series, came back in the 2000s in comic book.
Right.
And they still had Megatron as a gun, which is crazy. And I was like, now, over 20 years, you can't have a pistol as a robot? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, that's a society thing, honestly. I think about all the, the weapon toys growing up.
Oh, yeah.
This is before airsofting was a thing. I have an airsoft pistol. I don't know if I could reach it. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. So this is an airsoft Desert Eagle.
Yes.
You see it has the little tip on the end of it. I mean, if I pop this tip off or color it a different color, and I take this thing and I go out with it, somebody's going to think this is a realistic gun. It looks exactly like a Desert Eagle. The cartridge, the cartridge pops out. It's supposed to pop out. There it goes. So it pops out just like a gun. You load it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I will get destroyed if somebody thought that it was real and I was stupid enough to take it outside the house.
Yeah, I mean,
my son, I'll say this. My son is an airsoft aficionado. He was actually going to go airsofting today. He has a fucking arsenal upstairs, just like in Commando when Arnold goes into the back shop to get all the guns and weapons and just walls of stuff. Yeah. He has got guns upstairs. I love playing with these things. Some are battery operated, some are gas powered, whatever. But I get afraid when he is going to go airsofting. I'm like, put this stuff in the trunk real quickly. Don't let anybody see you. Take none of this out till you get over there, because obviously this stuff, and especially in today, they will really think this stuff is real, regardless if it's colored or whatever, and would be a major problem.
I just was like, I don't like society these days. It's just like everybody.
That's a great statement. I don't like society these days.
It's just everybody's such a pussy. But I was thinking about. I think I wrote a tweet to Jasmine Sinclair about my generation and the younger generation, how we suck. We suck at everything. We're just like, and I'm like saying to myself, like, yeah, we do. We don't have an Elon Musk in our generation. We just got a bunch of nobodies. Like,
Well,
you know,
I mean, there may be, and you haven't heard of these people. Look, things get invented all the time, and again, look at how technology has grown. The problem, society has many problems today, and honestly, they're not going to get fixed. It's an evolution. It's all circular. Eventually, it winds back where it started from. Instead of getting in too deep into that, but I have faith in mankind, womankind, tranny kind, whatever kind we got going today. And look, just if everybody took a couple minutes of their day and just tried to better themselves, make somebody smile, we'd all live in a better world.
I know what you mean, but I was like thinking of like what have we done, in good kindness. It's not like I look at the previous generation, like Generation X. I love Generation.
We all need a pig. Everybody gotta have a pig.
Oink. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Generation X was the best generation. And I said, and I must have said the 90s were the best last decade, I have to say. Because that was the last time I was a teenager, and when I hit 18,
that was the last time you were a teenager. Do you plan on being a teenager again?
No, that was the last fun of like everything, and like everything turned to shit. Like after 2000.
Oh, I love your truthfulness, Mike. Everything turned to shit. That's what? That's honest. That it is. We all want to go back and relive so many parts of our childhood. There are so many things that. There are so many great things I did as a kid that I look, and now, I've been a father now. My kids are older, and I think of there are so many things that my dad did, both my parents obviously did for me growing up that I have been unable to do for my kids because of how times have changed. I'll give you an example. One of the greatest gifts my father ever gave me. Back in, this had to be 83. We had just moved to Long Island. And I used to go to work with my father all the time. My dad worked for the New York City Sanitation. He was a sanitation mechanic. He was there, I think he worked for like 30, 40 years, something like that. And he used to wake me up on Saturday morning, and I used to go down to work with him, like 5 o'clock in the morning. He'd buy me breakfast and stuff. And I'd be around all these trucks all the time. All these trucks. They'd start them up in the morning, fill the place with carbon monoxide like you would not believe. So I'd have to wait in this little mechanics area until the smoke got out. And then I was able to go around and troll around it was a New York City block wide garage. It was actually 2 blocks from the original Yankee Stadium in the Bronx.
Oh, cool.
And this is where my dad taught me how to drive. As a kid, he sat me up in his lap, or the guys in the garage would leave pillows or something for me to sit on inside of various things, trucks, forklifts, wreckers, salt spreaders. And I would sit there and I would learn to drive these things, start it up, get the air brakes going, smash them. And so one of the best things, no, not one of, the best thing that I had growing up as a kid that nobody had, and I love this thing. In the back of my dad's garage, there was a Cushman. Now, a Cushman, let's see if I bring up a picture of this here. It was a 1976 Cushman Truckster. They used to use these things back in the day. Okay, here it is. It was look like this. Ooh. Oh, hang on. I got to bring it up on the screen here. It's this one here. Close this one. That. Oh, okay. All right, so this is what the Cushman was. That is what I had. Okay, it was white. It said sanitation all over it, and it had a dump body on the back where that little wood body is on the back. There was a big, like a bin. And what they would do with these things is the meter maids would use them, but when there was a parade in Manhattan, They would drive these things around. They would sweep up the street, dump it in the dump body, and then you would take this thing and back it up to a garbage truck, and the back would go up way high and dump it into the back of a truck. So one of these was in the back of my father's sanitation garage. So one day I went to him, I was like, Dad, what's that thing in the back over there? He's like, oh, that's a Cushman. I was like, what does it do? He's like, they're throwing them out because New York City is replacing them with Chevy Love trucks, which was a 4x4 actual flatbed regular car truck. Yeah. And they wanted like $12,000 a piece to replace these. They got the trucks, actual cars, for $10,000. So they were condemned, and they were going to just get rid of them. So I was like, does that thing work? So he's like, I tell you what, go get the forklift, go lift it up, bring it over here. It was a Saturday that he didn't have any work to do that day. And bring it over here, we'll start it. I got some tires upstairs still for it, and let's see if it runs. So he got it started with a fucking screwdriver and a wrench. Don't ask me how. I still to this day, I don't know how the fuck he did it. He touched something, and next thing, boom, the thing starts. I was like, oh, this thing was a 3-speed manual stick. You see it right there, right under the steering wheel. That little stick, you would have a clutch. You got to clutch it down. Up and back was first gear. Forward, down, forward is second gear. Back is third gear. And then reverse was middle, up, and forward would go in reverse. This was basically like a motorcycle. It had a 3-cylinder air-cooled OMC engine in it. And you would have to get a motorcycle license to drive this. You could drive it legally. It was a street legal vehicle. Long story short, Dad goes one day, how'd you like to take that home? Okay, so I'm like fucking 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. And your dad is offering to bring this home so you can drive it at the house. And what did he expect me to say? I'm like, what? So he told his boss or got the okay to take this home. Because again, they were throwing him out. So the plan was they were going to chop him up and get rid of him. We got it back to Long Island, not very easily. My dad had built a trailer, and we stuck it in the trailer, and the thing was hanging out the back. We couldn't do more than 20 miles an hour over the bridge, and the thing would start. The weight was so uneven, it was crazy. And then we got it home, and there was a problem that we didn't have the forklift anymore. So how the hell are we going to get it out of the trailer? Well, engine puller, we lifted it up, we dropped it, whatever. So I drove this thing around my parents' house. And now, they don't have a big house. The property in Nassau County and Valley Stream is it's 100 by, I think it was 100 by 75. So I guess it's 100 yards or 75 yards. Yeah. And I would drive it up the driveway, a fairly long driveway, up the driveway into the yard, in circles in the yard. I drove this thing in the rain, in the snow, didn't make a fuck difference. It had lights. My dad put a beacon light on the top of it. So 10 o'clock at night, I'm driving this thing around. The neighbors are losing their fucking mind because there are lights flashing everywhere. And I'm just driving it all around and around. Never once changed the oil on it. Never did anything. Had a 5-gallon gas tank that lasted me like a year. And I drove it around the yard so many times in the rain that I literally there was no grass. I made that into a dirt track. The dirt was harder than concrete from me running this thing over and over and over. So the pinnacle of my childhood. This was the pinnacle. I drive it down the driveway one day, and there was a kid who lived around the block who had one of those pipe go-karts. And he would drive that thing in the street. I won't say never. I think twice I took the Cushman in the street to make a U-turn. I was too afraid for the cops taking it away from me if they saw it. Back in the day, not like today where you see all these kids on bikes and ATVs, like hundreds of them on Sunrise Highway driving. No.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean.
Yeah, no. Back in the day, if you took any kind of motorbike on a street, you were getting caught by the cops, and that shit was getting confiscated. No doubt. So anyway, this kid takes his go-kart, and he's driving. You used to see him all the time out the front window. Till one day, I took the Cushman. He didn't know I had it. And I went down the end of the driveway, and I just sat in it like this. And this kid comes trolling by, and then he stops, and he's like, yeah, dude. Let's just see you drive that little pipe shit in the rain and the snow. Let's see you haul things and everything. Look at this bitch I got. I got lights. It's got a windshield wiper.
I gotta tell you a great story. So my dad owns that is fucking amazing. But my dad had the greatest stuff ever. He had a Porsche, a 911 Porsche.
Ooh.
That was really cool. He had a
Daddy Moneybucks.
He had a Ferrari Testarossa.
At the same time?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to fucking say. But still, I mean, that's...
But let me get back. When I drove in the Porsche 911, I was like so impressed because he looked really cool with a Porsche. Then when he traded it in for a Ferrari Testarossa, I was like, and when he was driving it, I was like, whoa! And it was so fun. Just driving in those two cars were just like a blast. And
so your dad let you drive the Porsche and the Ferrari?
No, I drove in it with him.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
No.
I was like, if your dad let your ass get behind the fucking wheel of a fucking Ferrari.
But
oh, man.
This is when I was a little kid. This is when I was about 4, 6. It was like the greatest fucking thing. And also the funniest thing is he was like, oh my God. He used to go hunting upstate. And I used to get up on Saturdays at 5 o'clock in the morning and we go upstate.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the helicopter. I flew in a helicopter with him. He was a pilot. He was a licensed helicopter person.
Damn, your dad like, flying choppers. He's got Ferraris. Jesus, what the hell happened to you?
I loved it. And when he used to do hunting, he used to do with the clay disc.
Right.
And I loved it because you were out of nowhere. And sometimes I get lost because I was like a kid. Like I was like 8, 9. And I got so freaked out because I didn't know where I was. And my dad was, in places. But it was a lot of fun. I miss that. I really do.
You're a better man than me. You could not pay me to go up in a fucking helicopter. I'm sorry.
I loved it.
Living by Republic Airport over here, I see little planes go over my house all the time. Just, I had the one that crashed 250 feet from my front door. So I know I am not going up in one of those things. And in fact, this is probably what would have occurred here had your pops let you use or try to drive the Ferrari or the Porsche. I remember this video. This dad buys this Mustang brand new, and the kid asked for the keys to it. This was some years ago, 17 years ago. 4.2 million views on this. So all right, his dad's ring $2,000, his dad's watch $5,000, his dad's brand new car $50,000. Watching his son's excitement and innocence to manual transmission. Priceless. Oh, baby. This is just not fucking good. Still got stickers on the car. So I think it was the first year they came back with the Mustang and did the redesign. Anthony had a Mustang, something like this. So this kid, look, this thing is set. He's got the 69 Mustang right there. Nice and set up. And that's the new one. If you don't know how to drive a manual transmission, what are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Holy shit.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? And let's see the aftermath of this. Oh, Jesus. He drove that sucker right through the fucking house. I mean. Oh, dude.
You gotta be that fucking stupid. I mean, like, how the fuck? How did these kids who used to be the younger generation, how did they get so fucking stupid? I just it's mind-boggling.
I can't answer. I don't know. I don't know how, but I mean, seeing that, and the kid's like, "Oh, my dad's gonna kill me." Yeah, you think? You just drove his $50,000 fucking Mustang through the garage. I mean, you didn't think to hit that brake, baby.
No, you got to be that fucking stupid. I mean, like.
Look, if you sat the average, let's take the average kid today coming up in high school, right? If you take the average kid coming up in high school who just got his license, say he's licensed driver, whatever, you put him in a car with a manual transmission, he won't know what the fuck to do. A manual transmission today is like a rotary phone. My daughter, if I sat a rotary phone in front of my daughter and asked her to make a phone call, I think she'd eventually figure it out because there's not really much to it. But she would look at it for a good solid minute before saying, "What the hell is this thing?" She had no idea. So if you're sitting in a manual transmission car, you see a stick. First of all, you see 3 pedals on the ground. Your mind is going to be blown. Why does this car have 2 brakes? Piggum, where are you going? I don't think that's stupid. That's just a sign of the times. The kids did not grow up with that stuff that we grew up with. And it became normalcy in our lives. To them, it's foreign. That's all.
I just was like, I mean, now
spit it out, boy.
My cousins have kids now, and it just feels like a culture shock to me. It's like, as I get older, I'm still single, and it's like, what the hell has happened to us?
Oh, you won't be single after this show. There are people lining up in the chat, I'm sure, to get with MGA.
Yeah, they're probably saying a couple not things about me. But I'm just like in complete culture shock. I'm like 20 years, it
goes by quickly. Yeah, look,
it does.
I remember sitting, taking a crap in high school and thinking to myself, I wonder what I'm going to be doing like 30 years from now. Now, what's this going to be like? Am I going to be working? Am I going to have a nice house? And am I going to have nice cars? And no. It's just now I think back to those times.
Yeah.
And, should have paid more attention in high school and went to a better college. But
don't get with me.
It is it is what it is. We grow old. We use our experiences, and here we are. Could be a lot worse.
So what else? I moved my place, and it's a lot better where I was when we went to the game, and I'm not near the boondocks. So
well, that's at least good.
Yeah. But I remember. Did I told you that I have a couple of the original Masters of the Universe figures?
Yes.
But they're modern.
Yes, you do mention that last time you were on. Yes, I do remember.
We were talking about Stinkor. So I actually saw the vintage Stinkor, and he didn't have a skunk face. He mostly had a face of a remake of Merman. And Merman was a fish.
People are watching this right now going,
and what the fuck? And I was like looking at the head, like the figurehead that they have now.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like a skunk with a mask on it. And it looks really cool. But it smells still stink.
Oh, I know. They use some, for those of you who are wondering what this is about, the Masters of the Universe, a.k.a. He-Man, and then the She-Ra. There were figurines that you would play with as a kid. We had the whole Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain and all that stuff. So one of the figurines was this figurine called Stinkor. And I'll bring up a picture of him real quick. Stinkor. Let's see. Here he is. Oh my God, look at this. They have it in a commercial. Of course they do. Let's see. Go here. Go back here. Did I move it? Yeah, there it is. All right, so this is Stink. There he is. That's Stinkor. Yes. Like the kid's like, oh, it smells. So yeah, this figurine has got to be. Oh God, this was mid '80s, I'd say. So it's got to be.
This was about late. I think mid to late '80s.
Yeah, so it's 35 plus years old.
He was not in the cartoon.
They used some kind of freaking Japanese paint on this thing that gave it a stench, and it still fucking smells today. I don't care how much you wash it. I don't care if you dunk it in turpentine. This thing fucking reeks, and it'll make you nauseous. It's how I don't know. It really does. But God knows what they used, what kind of lead chemical is in this toy that now anybody that's played with it for an extended period of time has got fucking brain cancer.
Yeah, and the other
God, look at this. Look at the days of these kids playing with their dolls. This could have been the basis of a lot of futuristic estrogen-laden men as we're sitting here basically playing with our Barbies. Now, I did not play with my He-Man figures with anybody else. I
did not either.
Pleasure myself with them. Maybe that doesn't sound right. I would just, oh geez, how can I say this without being, no. There's no good way to say it. Yep, I would play with my He-Man dolls. And Snake Mountain, I have all of these still. They're in my basement, and I'm going to sell the lot. My sister gave them to me, and she's like, when the Masters of the Universe came back, when Kevin Smith did the thing, I thought they'd go up in value. And then I'd sell them as a lot, as a group. So I still have to. I've got to clean them. I've got somewhere in here, I've actually got the original comics that I had that came with the figures. I have a bunch of them.
The mini comic.
Yes.
I remember, I remember I used to go to Comic-Con back when it was just starting, before it became this huge thing. And I remember I went in 2006. 2 years later, they had a panel, a Mattel panel, and they announced that He-Man was coming back in figure form, and we were all excited. And
I'm sorry, I can't imagine the people that go. Comic-Con is a great thing. I'd love to go to Comic-Con one day just to check it out. But these are the same people who, when I saw the trailer, they make reaction trailers for the Star Wars movies, and like the last one, I got to bring this up. This guy. I would have had all this set. Let's see, Star Wars Last Jedi. I'm going to show you the guy that goes to. Here he is. This freaking guy. So this is the teaser trailer reaction when Jedi was coming out. He loses his shit. This guy right here in the white shirt. This guy he must collect everything. I bet you he has 4 rooms in his house that just has Star Wars memorabilia. Yeah. He's got clothes. He goes to Comic-Cons. Anything. If an extra was having a autograph signing at a fucking supermarket, this guy would go. So, but you look at him. He's already getting so excited. He's like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jedi. So as we progress through this, he gets more and more obviously excited. Okay, so here it starts. And so they got 4 trailers. Just keep your eye on him in the middle. Really, he's the guy. Oh, look at him. He's getting sweaty. He sees Rey. Something is approaching Rey. And he's... Oh my God, this guy is... I couldn't... Look at him. Look at the people around him. They're at least standing. You know they're in their mind like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. It's like, what is it that you're excited about? Like,
because to this guy, this is his life. He wakes up every morning. He's got probably Jedi clocks. He puts on Jedi underoos to go to work, if he even works. This guy, to him, this is real. He lives in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. And this is the most joy that this guy has ever had in his life. He's never had pussy. Never had pussy. But the most joy, of course he has an iWatch, of course. So look at him. He's fucking coming right now. Look at his face. Oh, yeah. Look at him. He has just creamed his pants. Shit is running down his leg into his shoe.
Yeah. I mean, there's fans and there's fanatics.
He's fucking crying. He's fucking crying. It was a movie, albeit a shitty movie. I mean, it is what it is. But this guy, oh my God, he heard the voice of the fucking, oh my God, God damn it. Who's the guy they killed at the end? The dude with the hat, the Darth Vader's fucking boss. The Emperor. God, I haven't watched Star Wars in so long. So they killed, look at him. He's fucking crying. His mind is blown. His world is shattered. The fucking Emperor is coming back.
I mean, but we when that happened, like in 2008, we were like excited. We weren't like crying. Like I wasn't crying. I was like clapping my
Well, no,
hands.
that's you. But I'm saying that there are people that go to these cons who they've become real life to these people. There are people I see on Instagram all the time that are living like, there are a bunch of goth girls. I love the goth girls. But there are a bunch of them that literally like they live now as full-time characters in their regular lives, which is like, and then they wonder why they can't get a job because they come there with blue hair, all tatted to the hilt, and they think there's some fucking anime character.
And the other scary part is wrestling fans. They do cosplay, and it's psychotic. And I remember going to all the wrestling shows. We would just wear like T-shirts and had signs and all that stuff, and the place was pumped. Now I'm seeing them dressed as like there was like a video of like people outside of a WWE arena dressing up as like I don't even know. There's one like Liv Morgan. Like what's so fucking special about her? Like she doesn't do anything for me. She hasn't.
What's so special? She does nothing for me, but
she's hot looking.
Look, there are levels of people. I've gone to wrestling events over the years. I haven't been to one in years. The last wrestling event that I went to, Nassau Coliseum, 1990 maybe. Hulk Hogan against Bad News Brown for the World Heavyweight Championship, and my friend Evan was actually there the same night. He remembers this. Nobody went to wrestling events back then with signs. You went, you sat down, you watched the matches, and things weren't as gimmicky per se as they are now. But you have those now that show up with signs, and then you take it full bore and you go dressed as the person. Now, I did buy, and I used to wear an Undertaker's hat. I loved the flat brim Undertaker's hat. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but I could. I like his motif. So I could see myself fitting into that. Mark Calloway, who by the way has an amazing freaking podcast. If you don't watch it, Piggy's running wild on my desk. Get in there. Oh my God, I just knocked the camera down. Catastrophe. I think it's called 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway. Yes. If you check it out on YouTube for those who are watching, it is not only is it hilarious. He goes through all these stories and through the years and the 30 years he was wrestling and stuff like that, a lot of background stuff. But he is an amazing dude. I would really love to meet that dude one day. He's just like the kind of guy you just want to fucking meet and know. He's just an awesome, awesome fucking dude. And he does it with with his friend. He's a really nice dude too. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, I mean, there's I always wanted to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin because I wanted to know more about the psychology of where the character came from, and like he got the idea from the Iceman. You remember the Iceman videos? He was the hitman.
Yes.
So he got that idea from the Iceman, the Stone Cold character. So basically, Vince was behind so many of the characters.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is on YouTube a lot. He does a lot of podcasts as well. He goes deep into his career and stuff. You could easily find out all about that. Meeting. Like send this guy a note. Maybe he'll come on your show one day. You never know. Maybe I'll get Mark Calloway to come on my show. That would be fucking awesome. I would open invitation to Mark Calloway anytime he wants to come on my show. I don't give a shit if it's 3 a.m. I'll do a show for Mark Calloway.
I'm actually trying to get. You probably don't remember this guy. He was part of wrestling in the '90s called Marcus Bagwell. He used to be Buff the Stuff.
I was going to say Buff Bagwell I've heard of, but I don't remember the Marcus part.
Bagwell. No, he used to be Buff. He's Buff Bagwell. So I'm trying to get him on. Probably I'll do it in the fall just to talk about his career. And like he had a episode. There's a great series called Dark Side of the Ring.
Yes.
And that's like he had an episode that was really cool. But I want to hear his opinion on wrestling now, which is more interesting because from a guy who wrestled his entire life, I want to hear what he has to say because I have a negative view on it. It's like I could talk about the negative shit now.
Yeah, we will get into the whole. We should do a whole wrestling thing on another time because that'll open up Pandora's box. There are a couple other things I want to get to before I end today, but I mean, talking to those guys, what they do, how they've handled their careers, just amazing. Most of their bodies are broken, and how they come up through the ranks and stuff. Yeah, wrestling is a whole. That's a whole nother genre. You have
I know
cosplay, the wrestling. They all have their own lifestyles. It's crazy.
I know this. I think the cosplay has gone too far, and it just makes me cringe now. As I get older, it's not fun anymore.
No, that's just the thing. I mean, cosplay is meant for kids. The adults doing cosplay. Now, look, you go to a lot of adult ventures.
I used to go to Comic-Con just to meet the writers and artists. That's what I used to do.
But you've gone to haven't you gone to the AVN Awards or the yeah. So I mean, you're there's a pretty broad spectrum there between Comic-Con and one of those other
I get what
that you go to. They kind of merge a little bit when you go over a certain age because the girls that you see dressing up in various cosplay things are crazy fucking sexy, and honestly, you're totally easy to get into. A lot of them it catches your eye because it's not a normal thing.
No, like when Comic-Con in New York happened in 2006, it was just like I was only there for the writers and artists. That's what I would usually go there for.
Sure, you were.
No, actually, I was. So, and basically, what was so interesting back in the 2000s. They didn't even have the movies. All they used to have was the events that were announced in comic books. And that was your movie. That was your summer, fall.
Back in those days, they didn't have the internet to promote these things. And that's it. Everybody with a phone now, they get dressed up in these outfits and these costumes. And it's all about putting themselves out there, getting views. And I don't know what the end game is to it. Maybe they get endorsements from something, but they like clicking them views, them favorites, them hearts, them likes. That again is a part of society today that did not exist when we were growing up. We didn't care about likes, views, and things. We didn't have a soapbox to stand on. Today, now we do. I can go out there dressed like the Undertaker and say, play the character, and I'm going to get likes and views and hits and all of that stuff.
But it was, during that time, around when I went 2006 to 2013, it was a very different time. It was just I remember going to comic book shops and purchasing an issue of a miniseries, and I got really excited because they would talk about it on comic book news sites, and it was oh, I gotta get it, and it was so I don't know, amped up. You're just really excited, and you don't know where's it gonna go, and that was so great about it because it really wasn't in the movies. It was in comic book form, and you read it, and you don't know where's it gonna go until the last issue. And it was so great, and I still have a lot of I still don't collect single comic books, but I have graphic novels of during the 2000s, and that was the last age.
No, that's where you got that special writing style that you've got, which I still laugh about. With when Garrett was on, we mentioned that the other day. Just hilarious, hilarious stuff.
I just feel that when that was taken away, I said this industry is fucking dead. They did not even at Comic-Con. They do not have a Marvel booth. They do not have a DC booth. They don't even have anything. They don't even promote it.
They don't have a booth.
They don't even promote it. And that's what's so sad about it.
No, we'll see we'll see how it comes, how it turns into new forms. These things, like I said, everything is circular, but these new mediums and stuff, and there's a con for everything. For God's sake, somebody's going to create a sub-con. I mean, Jesus Christ, you see DabbleCon, for God's sakes. I mean, that thing is taken on legs of its own. Yeah. That people are flying to fucking Rochester, of all places, to go bash stuff, which is freaking hilarious to me.
And getting DabbleCon should be like all over the place. Like they should have like WATP DabbleCon here on Long Island. That would be cool.
You could definitely start that if you want. I think that they said that the new ones are going to be planned in somewhere else, or so on and so forth. But
it's crazy that now we have DabbleCon. I wish they would have AnthonyCon. You know?
Honest, Anthony does not need his own con. He's got his own thing going. Let him nicely live in South Carolina, shoot his boxes, and do what he does, and more importantly, play video games with me, which I'll be doing shortly after this show is over. But let me wrap this up, Michael, because I got a couple of things I want to do before I get off. And I got to get off. Yeah. And listen, I want to thank you for coming on. You're always a pleasure to come on, and knowledgeable about so many subjects, going back and taking us back into the good old days that we always love to hash. Yes. Let me see if I can get this dashboard back up. There it is. So I will thank you. We will talk to you again soon, my friend. It was very good for you to come on. I highly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I will see you later, brother.
Yep. Bye.
Let me do this. Where am I here? There I go. All righty. That was Michael Gavin Ali, ladies and gentlemen. Always fun. A dearth of knowledge that boy has. Oh my God, what happened to my background? Hold on. I'll put a background up. Let's see. We're talking Star Wars. We'll do this one. Sorry about the glitchy camera. I'm working on that. I'm going to get another camera. This Elgato cam is fucking really pissing me off. But let's, Piggums has been so good. I know we got to check in on the pig. Let's check in on the Piggum. Oh, look at him. He's still eating. Look at him go. Now he's on the carrot. All right, let me raise this up a little bit. Oh, look at you. You're so big. Oh, you're so big. We got to get him a good Halloween costume. We gotta figure out something. Go on Amazon later. Oh, look at the little mouth. Oh, you got it. Oh, you can't see it. Look at his little mouth. Oh, God, he just nibble. You want your pumpkin? You want your pumpkin? Sorry. Ooh, hit the camera. Got to figure out a better way for this piggy cam. I'm working on it, folks. I'm working on it. Wow. All right. So a couple things I wanted to get to before. We'll keep Piggum Cam up there, and we'll so you can watch him. We'll move over to here. The steepest, most inverted dive coaster in the world is coming to Six Flags next year. I am not a roller coaster fan. Okay, I've been on a roller coaster twice in my life. The last one I went on was the kiddie coaster at Adventureland, and I threw up all over the fucking place. It's something about the motion on a roller coaster I just don't agree with. This thing, the Wraith of Rakshaka. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. This thing is going to be fucking sick. So you're inverted, hanging, and it's got a drop. I think all right, here it is. So this drop right here. Oh, you can't see my mouse on that. So the left side, that thing is going to go. So it's 180 feet tall. It's got a 171 foot drop. So you're 180 feet up in the air, and you're going to drop straight fucking, I mean, not even straight down. If you look on the left side of that picture, you see the little picture of what is the coaster, quote unquote, and it's actually coming down further than I guess a 90-degree angle. Just, oh my God. I'm going to get sick just thinking about this. And it comes to within 9 feet of the ground at 96 degrees. It's going down at 67 miles an hour, which there are faster roller coasters. I think King the Ka goes near 100 at some point, but So about 70 miles an hour, your ass is heading straight down like a fucking torpedo. Like the plane that you're in just lost both engines, both wings. The pilot's dead. You ain't got no parachutes. And you're carrying 7 trillion tons of rock. Where you going, pig? Straight down to the ground. This is an enjoyable thing. Now, for those who, like, I guess, love near-death experiences, oh, you're going to cream yourself. But me? I will not be going anywhere near this fucking thing. No, not happening. Not happening. So I saw that, wanted to mention that. Let me see. Oh, there was a couple other things. You know what? I'll get to one more thing here that I want to do before I get off. The Amityville murders. There was another murder here on the island in the last couple of weeks of some guy that killed his entire family, like 4 or 5 people. I got to get more information about it. But this happened, the Amityville murders, back in, I think it was 74, I think. And it gripped the nation. We've all heard about it. The Amityville Horror House, 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, still there to this day. In fact, there is a picture of it right here. There it is. So that's the guy. Ronald DeFeo Jr. was his name. He killed his entire family, his father, his mother, his 2 sisters, and 2 younger brothers. Shot them in that house, which today, even though the house is still there, it's had some renovations done. It's been sold a couple of times. I think the last time it sold for a little over $1 million. It's a large property. It's weird because the house is actually sideways on the street. We'll see that in a second. But they used to have so many people coming up to the house to peer in the windows that they took the side of the house, which is like this side that you're looking at here, that faces the street, and it's a false front. There's nothing behind the windows. They built a wall behind it so the people coming in couldn't, these normal people bought it. They didn't have any of that shit that the movie had, the flies and the bleeding walls and all that. No, it never happened. The Lutz family bought the house and they claimed all of this shit and they made their money, made their movies, made their book. It was all bullshit. They admitted it was all bullshit. So my question, oh my God, Pig, what are you doing? There you go. He's tired of sitting on his carrot. And we're almost done, Pig. You've been so good. He's such a good pig. My question to those watching that I never got about this thing, and I have read extensive stuff about the Amityville killings. The rifle that was used there in the upper right-hand corner, that's the rifle that Ronald DeFeo Jr. used. And they actually found the handgun, which is just below that. You see the picture of that withered away gun. They found that gun in the river that's behind the house some 30 years after the murders happened. That was found to be another weapon that was used in the murders. I have all of the crime scene photos of this particular horrific event. They're fucked up. There are a lot of questions that surround them. But the main one that I wonder, and I've always wondered this, here is the Google Maps image of 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville. You see the river to its right. And again, the street, Ocean Avenue, is there to the left. The house is sideways, so the front of the house, the front door, is on the side of the house. This particular murder that happened, these murders, happened at night. I don't remember exactly what time it was, but it was, I think, sometime between 8 and 11 p.m. at night. You saw the gun that was used, that particular shotgun. How is it that these crimes were committed and no one heard a single shot? I don't know why it's weird. I want you to look here as I zoom out. Look at all the houses that are around the Amityville Horror House. I see, 5 below it, 4 above it. You've got 6 across the street. There's at least 20 to 25 houses. And then you have the ones that are on the other side of the river. If I took a shotgun and I blew it off in my living room, every single person that lives on my block is going to come running out of their house hearing a shotgun blast. So how is it that Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot 6 people in cold blood in that house and nobody heard a word? Now, could he have put a pillow in front of the gun and maybe deafened it a little bit? Sure. I don't think so, because out of all the crime scene photos that I saw, there was no piece of evidence that was a muffled something or other. The brothers and sisters and mother and father were all killed in their beds. They were sleeping face down, most of them, shot in the back. I believe the father might have been shot twice, once in the lower back. The mother was shot sleeping up. It makes no fucking sense to me. How did one person get shot, and where the hell was everybody else in the house? You got to see the photos to really understand it. But again, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. There was no trail of blood around the house. Like there was no. He didn't take them all to the basement, shoot them in the basement, then drag them up to their rooms. Nothing. They were shot in their beds. Now, maybe the only other explanation is maybe they were drugged. Maybe he drugged them somehow, that they were all knocked out. I don't know. It's the only logical explanation. I know Ronald DeFeo Jr. himself was a habitual drug user, had a lot of drug problems, and he's dead now, thankfully. But that to me, again, look how close, as I zoom in, look how close the neighbor's house is right there. Literally, there's probably between those two houses 30 feet, 40 feet at most. Didn't hear a word. Pig, see, Pig knows. Pig's wondering. Didn't hear a thing. I don't get it. Somebody please explain that to me. I don't get it. So we'll delve into this more. I want to find out and see if I could show the murder scene photos. I guess they're public domain now. I have them in a PDF file. But it would be very interesting. They're not overly graphic. A lot of it is the post. You see like the blood all over the bed and stuff like that. But it's a very, very weird. Pig, where are you going? Look at it. What are you? Hey, no. Oh, no. What are you doing? How did it happen? The pig was just sitting here yesterday. Hey, get back in there. All right, we only got a couple minutes more. All right, something else I wanted to do real quickly is I got a gift. I did get a gift. And I promised I would open it up on stream, and I'm going to. Let me get it right down here. Right, pig? Pig. Oh, you know what? Guinea pigs, they make noise when you squeak them. Like if you hear, let me see if he does it. Let me turn this on. Let me see. Raleigh, if I make this noise, you're going to give us some oink? Wink, wink, wink. Wink, wink. No, he's just sitting there looking dumbfounded. All right, let me go back here. All right. Well, actually, we'll go to this one. This one. Here we go. Okay. Sorry. All right, so I was sent this lovely package here by one Rex Kramer, who is always a treat, as he's called into the show many times, and has sent me T-shirts and stuff that is so great. I love Rexy. I love him and his wife. I'm so blessed to know them. So let's see what this exactly is here. Thanks for supporting independent artists. Ooh, I'm curious. I am so curious. I was sitting on this thing for a week. I was like, oh, I want to open this and see what this is. And ooh, let's see what we got. It's like Christmas come early. What? Oh my God, what is this? Let's see. Oh, we've got some shirt. Oh, look at this shit. Dude, Rexy. Oh, come on. This is fucking awesome. Are you serious? All right, so we got a fucking Automan t-shirt. Oh, shiznit. Oh my God. Wait till I show this to my sister. She is going to laugh her ass off. Oh, shit. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, shit. I don't have to play it now. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, we got more than one in here. We've got... Oh, Rexy, what did you do? No fuck way. Oh, my God. All right, this... I'm gonna be wearing these to work all week. This is fucking great. For those who are in the chat and love Caddyshack, we've got Bushwood. Wait, Bushwood? Hello. Come on, unfold. Oh, you got the good size, too. Where am I holding this thing? Yeah, come on. Is this wrapped? What is it? What's up with this? Oh, yeah. Look at this. Bushwood Country Club. Oh, yeah. You gotta love it. Bushwood. Oh, Rexy, this is too much. Oh, dude, come on now. The man knows me, and if you remember, I believe I talked about these on the last show. I don't know if it was with, I think I talked to him about with Garrett. How do you not love the greatest American hero? Oh my God! Come on now, this shirt is fuck. I don't want to wear this. I want to hang it in a frame and just display it in my office. That is so fucking cool. And see his Rex playing it down. He's like, oh, yeah, you don't get overly excited. Dude, you've given me the 6 best shirts I fucking have. Well, 7. Donald gave me the Motorhead shirt, which I love, and he asked me the other day, I was like, you wear it outside? I was like, fucking, yeah, it's a great shirt. Pig! Oh my God, where you going? I'm not paying attention to you. And you're out getting into piggy things. Now look, running around my... Okay, you want to sit on my desk? You just want to sit on my desk? You just want to troll around? You're just trolling. All right, let me put this down here. Let's say our goodbyes for the week. Let me pop Raleigh back up because he's pigging and he wants to say hi to everybody. All right? Look at you. He's just pigging on my desk. That's Pig. It's all Pig. So, ladies and gentlemen, what a great show. It's a lot of fun. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see who what do you... No, those are my pills. What are you doing? I want to try to get a couple... Steve is going to come on eventually. Gino, Keanu. I'll get everybody. I just, it's time. They're busy right now with weddings and stuff, but we'll get them on. Maybe even get Nurse Sarah to come on and do a show too. That'd be kind of fun. We're gonna golf tonight. We are gonna golf tonight. There will be a golf stream. We're gonna see what... No! Oh my God! Look at... Oh, now you're just getting into things, aren't you? Look at you. Get you over here. What are you doing to me, you pig? Bye. Talk to me, my boy. So, pig, hey, have your pumpkin. This is your pumpkin toy. Like your pumpkin toy? See? No, that's my Nostromo. What are you doing to my Nostromo? He's just pigging around my desk. Watch. Want to see a pig slide? Yeah. Come on. Look at you. What are you doing? Look, I bought you this. That's your little toy. Play with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm done. Good week. We'll do it again next week, hopefully. And it's a good time slot, actually. Still want to play with the time. I don't know what you guys think is the best time slot to do this, but... Oh, no. You ain't going back there. Holy God. He's losing his mind now. Oh, God, look at him. He's taking his little bath. He's cleaning himself. Check him out. I love him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all again next week. So have a good one. Make somebody smile. And golf tonight, watch on my YouTube. And holy shit. Watch on my... No. Oh, God. No. Am I going to have to hold you? I guess I'm going to have to hold you. Oh, my God. Look at it. Oh, good Lord. He's snooting the camera. I will... Shit. I will post on YouTube and Twitter what we're going to do tonight for golf. So I'll see you all later. Thanks for tuning in. Love you all. Laters. Honey, come get the pig.